disbursing about 1,800 crores as salaries. This is a big number that the IT, it is also a proof that the momentum is clear, that the Mangalore is driving towards the IT growth and riding the tech wave uh, with these numbers. In the last year alone, out of this 220 IT companies, there are 40 new companies added in the last year alone. That means every 9 days we are having one new IT company coming to Mangalore. That deserves a round of applause. These are the
possibilities. Unfortunately, they've not been able to realize those possibilities. This is what I genuinely feel.
well. Good evening, everyone. Um, my topic for this discussion is Mangaluru's dominance in IT industry, and for that we have a panel today. I would like to welcome everybody in the panel. Finally, the stage. We get a round of applause, please. Yes. Now you're done for the other two panels. My panel also deserve this. Lanlin, Sihab, Dikshit, and Mohammed Shibli. So we all know Mangaluru has traditionally been known for education, banking, and healthcare sectors. But now it's quite evident, and we're making news on IT as well. With over 220 plus IT companies in Mangalore, generating about 3,000 crores of revenues in annually and employing 20,000 people, uh, disbursing about 1,800 crores as salaries. This is a big number that the IT, it is also a proof that the momentum is clear, that the Mangalore is driving towards the IT growth and riding the tech wave uh, with these numbers. In the last year alone, out of this 220 IT companies, there are 40 new companies added in the last year alone. That means every 9 days we are having one new IT company coming to Mangalore. That deserves a round of applause. These are the numbers that we can speak about. So today we shall discuss about where we have come so far and where we are headed in the journey. And I would want to start with the first question to Shibil you. Tell us something about Nova and Poa solutions. What do you do? And I also have heard that you just started with a 2-member company in Vertex, and now you've become a 35-member company, right? And tell us the growth story and what were the driving factors for it.
First of all, thank you, Azza, and I'm glad to be here. Um, I'm myself coming from supply chain industry. I've been working for Saudi and UAE for last almost 8 years now. Uh, um, in a freight forwarding industry, I would say. After working over there, I wanted to start my own company under the mentorship of the CEO of the Saudi company which I've worked with. So initially, I came up with a plan to start the company in Bangalore, considering it as an IT hub. But then later on, I got some advices from a few other people, and also I would like to thank Shumas for contacting me initially because I had no plans of opening the company in Bangalore initially. So later on, when I started getting some more ideas and advices that now Mangalore has been an emerging startup culture. So that's the reason initially I started with Empower Solutions in Vertex Ajanta with just 2 members in my company in 2023. But then later on, it's been almost 2 years now in May this month, next month. Now I have a team of 35 members in my company. And I've moved from a 450 square feet office area to 4,500 square feet area now to Vertex Trio. And I would like to thank the whole Vertex group for supporting me in this. And also Mr. Mahesh and Mr. Guru and the whole Vertex team, considering the Ajanta as well as the Trio team as well. They have been supporting me from the beginning because I'm not I have no experience in managing the whole company because I've been a salaried person when I started my career. And then from there, coming up to this stage now, it's a very honor for me now. And thank you for Vertex for everything on this.
Amazing. That's a brilliant journey, Shibil. So, Ladwin, a question to you. Right? You are a director of data sciences and analytics, and M Results core business is also into the AI and data research and all that, right? How come, how do you say that, for somebody who's starting a career in Mangalore, looking for from the last 15 years, M Results is here. And you have started your, working with M Results for a long time. And what do you advise for people who want to start a career in Mangalore? What are the different opportunities in the AI and different sectors?
Thank you, first of all, for having me here. It's an honor. Well, I came from an academics background myself. So I transitioned from academics into the industry. That's roughly around 13 years back. So I know the pain when it comes to transitioning a career specifically. So right now, I think we are at a very big hotspot, particularly Mangalore is a hotspot for technology, not only in the academics, but also at the industry level. And well, we started at M Result back 10 years back. We started very small work on machine learning. And being in the service industry, uh, we had that opportunity to look at different kinds of problems, unlike the product industries, which focus on a specific thing. So, what has happened over a period of time is I've seen evolution in terms of how people have started. So, people start primarily in one technology, they take keen interest in what somebody else is doing, and then that catches up their interest, and slowly and steadily they start picking up that technology. So one thing that happens here is people become multi tech instead of just having one single tech. They look at two three different areas of technologies. People are very keen to learn new things as well. I have seen that a lot, and specifically when it comes to freshers, they are very much open to explore. They don't have a very hard mindset that I want to stick to this, I want to do only one particular thing. And I think that has helped us as an organization because we have people who are willing to learn in the first place. And that also has helped us to transition and help different types of careers. So, somebody who starts like a software developer has gone on to become slowly and steadily a data scientist with having some data analytics skills, then has transitioned. Now everybody is looking at generative AI. So we are doing quite a bit of work in that particular sector as well. So now everybody wants or is looking at AI engineers specifically. In between, we had something called as full stack, somebody who wanted to know everything, not just one particular area. So I think holistically, that career options are available, and also it's become more accessible now in terms of how tech is. Even in the previous discussion we looked at it. So uh, even ultimately it's opened up. That's the conclusion. The We've opened up as an industry, and right now people can switch between any domains.
And there are enough opportunities in Mangalore also for these technology spaces that we talked about.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. My next question is to Dikshit. Dikshit, back in 2011, you started Codecraft Technologies. Uh, Mangaluru wasn't even known for tech, being a tech hub then. Right? Today we are talking about Mangaluru, Techwaves, Silicon Beach of India, Thai Mangaluru. Many things are happening now. But back then, how was the ecosystem then, and how do you compare it versus now? Tell us something about, share us some experience from your journey.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you, Vertex, for organizing this, and congratulations on your fifth center. Uh, yeah, 2011. Yeah. So for us, things were a little different. When we started, we were very early in the mobile application development space. Apple brought up with the iOS SDK in 2007. So the first 3 years I worked in that platform, it was very. So we were figuring out, great to set up, what to do. One thing is both founders are from this region, so obviously we had a inclination to set up here. And the second thing is, like, we took 60 interviews from my house, and we rejected all the 60 people. Uh,
And all these were experienced people?
All experience, yeah. I mean, it was very early. The ecosystem itself was too small, right? We took interviews in Hyderabad. So I was thinking Bangalore, Hyderabad, these three regions. Uh, we rejected all of them and finally decided we will train people. Me and my partner Ode were fairly good in our, capabilities. We trained the first 10, 15 people, and that's how we set up, right? It was easy for us. And we were always in the space. We still work with innovation teams of very large companies in different geographies. So we always get early into a few things. So the domain specific is not that, uh, I would say, it usually the pool is small. Uh, so training is the best thing. Now I think Mangalore has grown as a ecosystem. I think there are many companies out here itself. Things are a lot different, and the best part of being here is, every small city has its own a positive side. When the ecosystem is small, everyone knows everyone. It's very easy to call each other and ask, hey, have you done this? Can you help us with that? Right? When you're in a bigger city, it's a little more tricky. So I think that way, Mangalore adds a lot of value to companies. Everyone knows everyone. So we usually keep talking to each other, understanding challenges, changing few things in the company itself, and also helping each other. So that way, I think it has changed significantly.
Great. Nice to hear about that. We have an announcement.
Yes, we do. We have amongst us Captain Brijesh Tata here, Member of Parliament. We would like to welcome you on behalf of the organizing committee and join the panel discussion here. We are talking about Mangaluru's dominance in IT services industry, sir, and we would like you to contribute here and be part of the panel. Thank you.
Thank you for joining our panel, sir. This is definitely going to underscore a lot of value to the discussion that we are having, and we'll surely look forward for some insights from you, sir. Yeah, going with the I will come to you, sir. Well, we'll finish some questions and then take your views on how we will interact. So my next question is Shihab for you. Shihab, Novigo stands out as one of the largest IT services company. Of course, there are few, but you are employing almost about 1,000 people in the region right now. And if I think that number is right. And while Karnataka in the IT exports is making a staggering amount of 3.2 lakh crores every year, the the contribution from Mangalore is less than 5%. How do you think we can, let's say, increase it or double it in next 5 years, like 2030?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks to Vertex for conducting this event, and again, congratulations on your fifth setup in Mangalore. I think you have made the change to Mangalore IT ecosystem. So, because I see a lot of people coming and asking that Mangalore IT is growing, and I think thanks to Vertex and Work, I think there are two prominent players who have shown Mangalore that this is possible. So, I mean, coming back to the revenue, right? I think when we started in 2012, I think 1 year late to Codecraft, the only reason to start in Mangalore is our Honorable MP's initiative called Back to Oro. So that was our whole intention. All four of us are from Mangalore. We wanted to start in Mangalore. We started with 20 people. So as you rightly said, today we are about almost close to 1,000 people, including our sister concern, Kavanji Infotech. Out of this, close to 600 people are in Mangalore. The only reason we could grow is like bottom-up approach. Every year we could hire about 40 to 60 freshers. One reason is the talent is very good in Mangalore. We could train the way we wanted to. And of course, over a period of time, we have expanded ourselves to other cities like Pune, Chennai, Bangalore, and Cochin. But we always give the preference to Mangalore because we had a lot of stickiness, tier 2 advantage. So I'll not go back to the tier 2. So revenue-wise, for any city to grow, there are three major factors. One is infrastructure, then the talent, of course the branding. So we have the necessary infrastructure because, as I rightly mentioned, because now co-working space. Back days, if you have the start, you'll have to think where the office space. We don't have the thick now. If you want to, if for any startup or anyone to establish yourself, initially you have a place to lag. So branding wise, I think we have already coined the word Silicon Beach of India. It's all, I mean, each one of us, we need to promote Mangalore. That way it becomes an inspiration. Even today, there are a lot of people from Mangalore region having a setup in outside Mangalore, and we need to be an inspiration for them to set up their own center in Mangalore. The third thing is like about talent development laterals. Of course, we have challenges in getting laterals, but over a period of time, if you have the right ecosystem, right branding, people will come back. As Sashir mentioned in the previous panel, we have engineering colleges from 1956. MIT started in 1956. 1986, we had HIT. So we have more than 200,000 people in last 10 years who are staying outside. If you have the right ecosystem and right branding, people will come back. It might be a challenge in the initial days. As I think another panel member mentioned, we need to have alternate center in other places to manage the deliverables. But give represents of Mangalore, it will work. I mean, of course, it has worked for us, and definitely I feel even for others also it would work with the over a period of time when you build the brand. Today, I think we are employed about 20,000 people. And Karnataka doing about 3.2 lakh crores. We are doing about roughly about 3,000 to 4,000 crores with just one bus it is. So we definitely have a potential to grow if we make 5 times. And so last 2 years, we have doubled our numbers in Mangalore. In next 2 years, we can at least see 3 times of growth. We can definitely possible kind of growth is happening in Mangalore, kind of ecosystem what we have built. So I think we need to have more such events because today, sitting here last 1 hour, I could see there are many startups which I was not aware of it. So these kind of events definitely help us in promoting. When we go to outside forum, we promote Mangalore. As a Mangalorean, we promote, and these kind of events definitely helps.
Thank you, Shiv. That was really insightful. I have one question to our MP. So you have been, very vocal about Back to Uru as one of the campaigns, like one of the flagship campaigns that you've been talking about, the social media, and everywhere you go, you promote this. Can you tell us something about that, about this Back to Uru campaign and how we are going to stop brain rate to this or calling people back to the diaspora of Mangalore to come back and work here from Mac?
Thank you, everyone. Firstly, sorry for coming late for this event. Like they say, if you come late, you'll miss the bus. So I come well prepared for the deep tech thing. But unfortunately, the panel is changed and now it's all about IT services everywhere.
Yes, sir.
To be honest, I wanted to talk about deep tech because when we start that, the reason I wanted to talk about deep tech is I was someone uh, who truly believe in Mangalore's potential. I truly feel that Mangalore is an ocean of possibilities. Unfortunately, they've not been able to realize those possibilities. This is what I genuinely feel. I was someone who passed out from the college in the year 2003. So that was the time when IT boom was happening across uh, India, more so in Bangalore, and just being 360 kilometers away from Bangalore. We could not lap on to that, even though many of our citizens here, students from here, went and worked in multiple companies in Bangalore. We did not start one here in the IT services sector also. So I was just thinking that in the last interaction when I had with IT companies in Bangalore, which I myself wanted to start, I told them that we want homegrown companies. So that's where in the deep tech, with Johnson, I wanted to talk about that. Deep tech is something where Mangalore-based companies could have grown. And as a policy maker, as someone chosen by you to lead and represent this place, I thought I could act as an enabler to create an ecosystem for deep tech. Nevertheless, I mean, the topic is changed to IT services, and your question is on Back to Uru. The reason the Back to Uru initiative was conceptualized and taken forward was because Mangaloreans have excelled in different walks of life in different parts of the country and across the world. They have experience, they have investments to make, they have expertise to share. They have also have the bandwidth and uh, bandwidth, I would say. Having worked in different areas to share that experiences with people here. So to create an ecosystem of entrepreneurs, so to create an ecosystem of uh, industry, academy, and investments, it should be easy for people from Mangalore. Another interesting part of people from Mangalore is which I in recent one of my interaction with one of the bureaucrat in Delhi who works in the PMO and now is become the Revenue Secretary of India, who also happened with the BC of this region once upon a time. So he said the one USP of Mangalore is uh, you give them something, people will participate. Participative nature of Mangaloreans is something very, very interesting and exciting. You take up anything. Unfortunately, it is only in this particular area, creating an entrepreneurship ecosystem and creating a startup ecosystem, creating a investment friendly atmosphere. We have somehow not been able to success, somehow not been able to be successful to that extent where we should have been. So that is one of the reason I wanted to share this back to initiative, because we need to tell our people who have gone outside, sailed in different walks of life to come back. Not literally. If they come back literally, it would be great. But if they don't come back, at least help in creating that ecosystem here. I've been really busy in the last 10, 11 months. I'm slowly getting back to that, understanding different things. And I on my own can put in extra effort to start this Tag to initiative, because in the next 3, 4 months, I'm going to different places of the world, getting our people together, telling them about Back to it, and also creating platforms here so that they can join in that platform and build an ecosystem here. So that is the reason Back to Uru initiative was conceptualized. Not just thinking of Mangalore, because I truly believe Mangaloreans can add value in nation building process, can add value in entrepreneurial ecosystem. Also create a model in Mangalore. This can be emulated by people across the world. This is the reason Back to Uru was started. Of course, I mean it's got multiple dimensions which we'll discuss.
Absolutely, sir. Thanks for sharing that. Uh, well, on the round two, I want to go in a little bit deeper about some of the flagship projects or clientele that from Mangalore, our IT services companies have been doing. Rikshit, this question is for you. You share something like a flagship, or you've been known as an award-winning UI UX company globally, right? And can you share us something that was like a flagship mobile or cloud work that you have done from Mangalore for a global client?
Okay, I'll share a few of them. Because you said design. Uh, we work with a company called CloudNox, right? The complete design system is written by us. Today, it's Microsoft Entra platform is nothing but CloudNox. They were acquired, and the complete design system is done here. I think my design head is sitting right here. He was in California for a couple of months because it was in the cloud security space. So more than the design, understanding the domain was more complex, right? Another one, I would say, when 2019 Super Bowl happened in the most advanced sports stadium in the world, which is Mercedes-Benz Atlanta Falcons Stadium. The complete state, like from the time people enter the stadium, scan your ticket to where you're headed, what you're doing, what is selling, what is not selling. The complete solution, the owner's dashboard was built by CodeCrub. And we were managing the whole experience when the Super Bowl was happening. Uh, Another one in Euro. We work with like I said, innovation team, the very large company. We built a solution we are currently working, which involves like the deep tech, like every single piece of technologies, right? So these are like mining sites which go on for kilometers together, and transportation is logistics is always a challenge. So they have like conveyor belts, right? So we have thermal sensors, we have drones, we have idlers, we have so many different kind of sensors, all of these stored together just to see if there are leakages, if there are wear and tear, predicting any kind of maintenance and things like that. And just coming back from US, Europe, back to India, all of us know IPL, right? When Geo won the contract for the IPL. We were hired to rewrite the video player because it was taking taking that kind of load had to be rewritten completely, right? So we worked on that, and once we're done with even the Big Boss voting system, we actually worked on that model because that system used to break with the load. So yeah, these are a few of the examples.
Amazing stories. These are all these happening, people sitting in Mangalore. This deserves a round of applause. I have the same question to you, Lamit. You, with M Results, also delivering a lot of solutions globally. Would you want to highlight some of your flagship projects that would take pride on?
Definitely. So we work with pharma companies primarily, and we were engaged with one of the largest pharmas, Pfizer INC. So when they are during this was during COVID specifically, and when the supply chain was probably at the lowest, they needed a lot of optimizations in their processes and making sure that last mile happens really fast. So we were able to turn that over really quickly within no time. Just about in 1.5 months, we were able to build that pipeline out for them, get all the data that they need, have predictive insights in place so that the entire supply chain becomes efficient. So this was one of our biggest success use cases. Likewise, recently, with the rise of generative AI, we have been working with a lot of basically realtor-based companies, and this is a feedback I personally received from the customer base. So I really love that feedback on the ground, people working on the ground. So while selling properties, they end up with a lot of challenges, primarily challenges with whom to target, how to talk, what to talk, how to get conversion better. So we built a system which is a combination of predictive insights as well as generative AI, and use that for multiple aspects. One, to help them identify which customers to target out of all the customers that come in into the system. Uh, Plus, also help these telecallers who are working very closely to build those conversions. So we help them to have those conversations better, have better pointers to talk about, have better insights when they talk about. And what I got in return specifically from these handlers was it helped them much better because most of the time they went black and having those conversations. They had a lot of history, they knew what pointers to target, they knew how to build those conversations. So ultimately, it turned out more like from a lower conversation rate, right? So it happened that just this media helped them to build about 9% of conversations or conversions that happened over a period of time. So uh, again, these industries are very not very receptive when you say, because data becomes a fundamental challenge, personal information becomes a lot of challenge. But building those pipelines has been one of our most interesting work that we've done. And likewise, there are many other use cases in the pharma space that we have built out. Dikshit mentioned about one of the industry related ones, right? Specifically to the industry. So we also work with a use case where we accumulated the data from different sources using IoT. That was done differently, but we powered the insights again. We built a pipeline that could enable quick insights. So we had a lot of data that we consumed. There were best practices, there were SOPs in place. So we tried to build those and have those SOPs as insights, like real-time insights. Whenever there was a problem that was detected back in the manufacturing site, a solution also was given as a recommendation. So these are some of the work that
Daisy going. Daisy, thanks for sharing those case studies and on the how M Results is helping globally. And now to Shihab. Shihab, Novigo offers RPA, low code solutions, automations to wider spread and bigger customers in different sectors. Uh, and how does your Mangalore center, always ready for these kind of things? And how would you want to uh, specify one of the use cases or case studies in one of these flagship projects?
I say the two specific success story from Mangalore, both the we have other centers are is one is back in 2014, one of the startup in Bay Area, California. They were starting a omni-channel product, omni-channel digital banking platform. So they wanted a technology partner from India, and we were being chosen. It was a funded startup from VC, funded startup from. So it was a technology, it's a Salesforce, which was hard to build in Bangalore. So we started with a small team. We started everything. So until 2018, we were about 20-25 people in that product, and we built and deployed about almost 10 banks. So immediately during COVID time, so the digital banking, because banking in US usually it was a personal banking where people used to go to the bank, and so digital banking or remote online banking was not that familiar in the US. Back in India, we were actually much earlier adopted in banking industry. So COVID time, most of the banks adopted. The 10 banks grew about 52 banks, and we were the only partner who could do that implementation in such a fast way. And today we are about close to 100 plus people working on the same project and implementing over 52 banks. That's one of the case study which we could delivering from Mangalore. The second one, as you recommend, is automation. That is another success story which we have adopted 2018 when RPA word concept. So when the RPA word coined, and there was a product called UiPath, which is back in Romania, and they were shipping the US. So they launched in India, and we were the early adopters, and we were the first partner to become RPA partner for UiPath. And I usually share this story very interestingly. And 2017, there was an event in Bangalore, and UiPath CEO had come, and I had attended the event to become the partner. And on the way back, it was a morning flight, evening flight. So that's an interesting story because to understand how it started in a small way. So in the airport, I was holding a goodie bag from UiPath because it was a morning to evening flight. I didn't carry anything else. It was a laptop I had. So there was one gentleman, he came to me and asked, have you attended UiPath? I said, yes, I did attend the event. And so then he said, I mean, I was also curious because it was new for us. And how did he came and asked me? He said, even I was there in the event. I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't meet him there in the event. He said, I'm from Mangalore and I was also part of the event. He happens to be a Karnataka bank IT head. So conversation started, and he said, I have an R&D budget for UiPath. I mean, I have automation. Would you be able to do it? Next day morning, he called me for the meeting, and it was the first client for us to start our automation journey. And today, we are one of the top partners for UiPath, and we have about 150 people based out of Mangalore working for automation, close to 50 plus customers. And today, one of the success stories is like one of the largest airline, Etihad Airways, during COVID time, they had a mandate to cut down the employee, and they had a mandate to save operational budgets. So that project was given to us, and we could save about $10 million in their every year operational budget using the automation journey. And we are their automation partner for last 5 years. So this is some of these stories which we have delivered completely from Mangalore, and we could deliver it. So why I'm stressing Mangalore? Because some of the global deliveries can happen from Mangalore because the talent put what we have. So if we have the right opportunity, definitely Mangalore can be the destination to grow.
Amazing, Shia. Thanks for sharing those anecdotes and especially the flight wala thing, conversation. Really nice. Shibil, with AI and a lot of things happening in the industry, and you having the outsourced services coming into picture, I mean, bringing a different flavor of outsourced services from India to different parts of the world in the supply chain sector. Where do you see some of the things, or maybe one of your clients' success stories that you want to talk about?
Okay. If the question is regarding if the is one is coming to the city. I'm not coming from the IT background. First of all, I'm coming from the supply chain industry. So we are not involved more into the automations or IT backgrounds when it comes to supply chain industry, but we do use some ERP software which helps in managing a lot of things more easier and smarter and quicker compared to the human works. So I would say that AI plays a vital role in any industries, whether it is IT industry or supply chain industries. But a human involvement is also more important to give what do you say to support to the AI industry, because service when it comes to the servicing or when it comes to the maintenance or anything, so AI in the answer.
not only about AI, but something that, what I wanted to convey is maybe some work that you have done. Maybe like what you're saying about how a human is very important. Yeah. Even AI couldn't do it, cannot do it, cannot be able to do it, right? Like anything that you feel, maybe something that you're looking up to, even though with this status now.
So, what I conclude with this is the collaboration between the AI and human is very necessary. It always has to be human plus AI, not human versus AI. So yeah, that's it. Because I'm not coming from this background, so I don't have much knowledge of the IT industry. So precious person. So yeah, I get that.
So I would like to open this question to others in the panel, where we are talking about creating job market in Mangalore, and there's already Gen AI coming in. A lot of people are worried about AI displacing the jobs. What do you guys think from your perspectives? Where do you see that can we create more jobs for IT services or any other outbound services that we are doing, or AI is going to do some displacement? What are your views?
So we've been working in the AI space for last 2 years, but we really did some meaningful work in the last 6 to 8 months. Uh, like first few years was experiment, directionless. I mean, that's how I think everything starts. Uh, I feel there will be commoditization of a certain kind of skills for sure. Because now you don't need 5 people to do a certain kind of job. That will happen. But I think there will be high skilled workers who would there will be a push towards that, because end of the day, right, you cannot rely. I mean, today AI can write code, but who is going to sit and debug it when it scales, right? So you need somebody to do that. So I feel as much as we will kind of use AI to become like an Iron Man of the industry, there will be a lot more people also required who know how to use this in a right way. So few jobs probably will become irrelevant, but many other jobs will emerge, is what I feel.
We have a small announcement. You can scan the code that will appear in the screen here, or also in your tables, and choose and participate in our discussions here. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. My 2 cents here is like, as Dixit mentioned, some of the jobs definitely will get commoditized. So we are in a very interesting junction. Last 1 year, we have heavily invested on AI space, and we started getting the results. Now there are a lot of agentic AI kind of journey. Every customer is coming up with new use cases. So in one way, in some of the places, it get commoditized. As we rightly said, that if we invest on the right area, there's a new set of jobs going to create. One, in the tech space. Second, on the BPO industry, or what I would say the ITES industry, there are new set of jobs like annotation engineer or a data engineer, training the models. There are a lot of new set of jobs are created, and I would say that it is like it's a delta. I mean, if one way we are losing the jobs, but other side we can definitely tap into the new opportunities what we can try to get in, and definitely it is AI is not going to completely take it. I think it is like how when the computer started, people expected jobs to go, but rather I think we have become more efficient. We have tried to see how new opportunities can be taken. Similarly, AI wave, if we really invest on the right space, definitely it can bring up more jobs is what we feel.
Just want to add to that. You will be surprised to know how very large companies are still not ready with their data. I mean, end of the day, a car needs fuel, and data is the fuel here, right? You can do. I mean, we've been doing some demos to a lot of our customers how AI can change, but a lot of these customers do not have their data in place. It's all like all over the place. I mean, we are just working on a forecasting kind of data, and we realize, I just discussed that with Ashit a few days ago. We realized the data is so wrong and so messed up, and to fix that itself, there will be a, I think, an industry is set up to clean up and it's a long-term process. I mean, now you are in a height cycle, but I would say, few quarters of cleaning data, preparing data to run with the AI, and then you can actually see decisions that's coming out of it, which will help the businesses thrive.
So we have come up with a very interesting analogy for this. So we call this as, right now it's a phase where there is human in the loop, then human over the loop when AI becomes a little more solid with data and everything else, and then human out of the loop. So I think there will be phases while it gets there. But as human beings, again, evolution has been a core for all of us. So as we have evolved, technologies evolve, the spaces evolve. So I'm sure newer things will evolve, newer ideas will come in. So as long as the human race continues to evolve, everything else along will evolve. With it will evolve. So there will be new things to solve, new problems to solve, as always.
I have one question again on the floor, which was, I think, one important discussion which was happened at the previous panel, which was participation of female participation. We needed some pushed over there, and also something which is also related to hybrid work. And why I'm saying hybrid work is because people who are working might come from different places to Mangalore, and sometimes people have to leave by 5 p.m. Because they have to change 2-3 buses to reach their place, right? So these are maybe some of the challenges that you might be facing, and how hybrid working or remote working can benefit Mangalore or IT services companies here, and what models can we make sure that more participation can come in. This why I'm also including the female participation, because it's become difficult sometimes for people from far off places to come work late nights, which is okay in Bangalore, but in Mangalore, because of different challenges, it might be difficult to reach the place. And if I'm bringing everyone back to the main city, to make sure that they reach back on time as well. So, what are your views? Anyone, how you are handling these challenges, and maybe also Sir's point, if we can also take, uh, and then we can conclude. Maybe the NASA.
Okay, regarding this, I have most of my employees. They are coming from different locations like Opinangadi or Beltangadi, or few from other locations as well. So I'm more flexible with them. Uh, I'm not giving them a hybrid work all the time, but I do allow them to leave early from the office and then log in if needed once they reach home, so that they are also comfortable with this. And I don't want to pressurize them with staying in the office and then completing the work and then leave. So if you leave more free with and if you are more free with the employees, I think that will also help them to be more dedicated toward their work.
Who wants to go next? Yeah.
It's a tricky question. I mean, whether which is good or which is bad. I mean, even we have given the flexibility to do hybrid, but we have made it mandatory for the 0 to 3 years experience to come to office, because that's a crucial period for anyone to start their career. You feel that old school thoughts of where they come to the office and get trained, interact with the team members. There's a lot to learn more than the work. So we feel coming to office is because, I mean, there are a lot of questions people ask. If you give hybrid, you will save a lot for IT. I mean, for IT, I think all of us would agree. It's actually just 1 or 2% of the cost to save the rent or anything. It's like rest of the cost. But I mean, it's not going to benefit anyway. Rather, coming to office would definitely help. But while some of them who could give better productivity, we give them hybrid. So it's like it's a tricky question whether both have got pros and cons.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of coming back to office, uh, primarily because I feel there is better collaboration when you sit and meet and talk. Uh, but I'm not, hybrid has its own advantage. See, when COVID happened, there was no other option. That was the only option. So and we were one of the early companies to, before even the lockdown happened. I think 1 month before that, we kind of moved all the systems home and, over the weekends, and we started working because we kind of sensed something is not right. And when the lockdown happened, we were the happiest because there was no disruption, right?
But now I see in certain space, people are becoming a little more comfortable, and it's see, when you grow up the ladder, uh, when you're in office, you're focusing on one project, but you're also knowing what's happening in the rest of the project, right? In hybrid, s- most of the times I see some trends, right? People are so focused with their own work, and there is very little updation of knowledge that is happening. I mean, people who are driven do it anyways, right? Wherever they are, it doesn't really matter. You really don't need systems and processes for that. I mean, they anyways function well. This is for the larger, I mean, like a sect of people who need that push. So I feel hybrid work is here to stay. uh, but it depends. If you're an individual contributor, it doesn't really matter. But when you really want, like, when you like to function with a lean team in a very agile way, I think coming to a makes a lot of difference, right? And we kind of have bridged few of these things by having like a weekly meetup where people talk about what they do and things like that. So you can address in different ways.
So when you say back to office, and if the offices are made by Vertex, you'll always want to come back to office, right? So one round of applause for Vertex for making beautiful offices and being a motivation for people to come back to office and work. Okay. Sir, you heard some of our panelists, and you also came prepared with some stuff. I would like to take two action items that you would want to give us. For example, one, what we as entrepreneur community, or we as the software community or the IT services community, what we should do to bring Mangalore as one of the top, choices for going for IT or technology and riding the tech wave. And what can, from a policy standpoint, from a central government or from your side, what are some things that you can do so that we can see what are the next 5 years? How does it look like personally from your vision? You're from here, you know the people around here. You're doing the work, so want to hear from you. Action item.
Two, three things. Like, I always said, if Mangalore has to be the next big IT destination, or the Silicon Beach of India in the truest sense, we need homegrown companies, and it cannot be limited to IT services. You have to think beyond IT services and really work on some deep tech solution, because I know it's difficult. I know it's long term. I know it's patient investment and all those things. But at the same time, we have to think on those lines, and we have enough industries to support us in that direction. Like three, if I have to name three major sectors which we can focus on, one is the port and the maritime tech, and then which is something which is really exciting, which the world is looking at, and Mangalore is blessed with that. I have recently spoken to the NMPA, the New Mangalore Port Authority, which is sitting on a lot of funds for your information, and it's one of the most profitable port among the public sector ports. I've told them, since it is their 50th year of an MBA, I've told them you have to start off a maritime university, which they have consented, and we are working on a proposal to start off a maritime university. I would invite not just IT companies which are existing, but bright youngsters from Mangalore to partner with an MBA and think some exciting opportunities in the port and maritime tech. This is one thing I'm uh, telling you. The second big thing what we can do is petrochemical industries. See, we have a refinery here which is going in for the uh, advanced investments, and the ONGC is already promised around 40,000 crore of investment. The next phase of expansion in MRPL, uh, we are foreseeing an investment of around 80,000 crores in the next 4 to 5 years. The petroleum minister has come to Mangalore and is had a discussion with MRPL. This is another big thing. It's a focus area which we can see it. The third important thing is what I see is the healthcare sector, which we have. The reason I'm telling these three sectors is because we have an existing ecosystem. You have to just plug into that ecosystem and think of some big solution, because Mangalore has to give the next big thing to the industry. Only then can we dream of becoming something big. We cannot be doing some IT services I'm not trying to put you down or something like that. But yes, we are then playing with the big guys until unless we create some good solutions, which is ours, and through that we create an exciting story of Mangalore. Only then Mangalore can compete with the bigger cities. Yes, we have the ecosystem. Yes, we have the environment. Yes, we have the students. Yes, we have the educational institution. Yes, we have the industries. Yes, we have the uh, diaspora who has worked in different parts of the world who have the experience. But we need to create a synergy among all these things. We need to create a platform, get them all together, uh, and work towards that direction. Another important thing is I represent our government. I have to say, tell you all about certain central government initiatives which our government is taken. One thing is the India AI mission. The government is allocated some 10,372 crores for the India AI mission. Uh, I would ask companies here to plug into this thing and see how uh, we can participate in that. We can gain out of it. Few of the other initiatives, the National Health Stack, which the government is working on, where you can plug in the digital public infrastructure, which the government is working on. Of course, the PM Gati Shakti, which is another big thing, the open network for digital commerce, which the government is created. So there are multiple things which where you can plug in is one thing. Second is work on these three sectors is one thing. What I told, the exciting thing what we can see. Of course, if you list out certain sectors where you can create solutions for the real world problems, uh, that's when Mangalore can say that we have arrived. And I request all people from Mangalore who are looking into the IT sector, looking into uh, being the next big guys in this industry. Let us not wait for Bangalore to lead. We have to rise to the opportunity. We have to rise to the occasion. And this is my call to all youngsters in Mangalore. This is my call to all academic institutions in Mangalore, all industry in Mangalore, the diaspora of Mangalore. And I would consciously and uh, work towards this end. And I would also want to create a platform, which I'm working with Johnson. I want to create a platform where uh, there is a synergy which is created. There is information sharing. There is knowledge sharing. We together build an ecosystem. It cannot work in silos. This is what I personally feel. So from my end, our MP's office, we will create a platform where we can all plug in the central government, state government, the industry here, the academy, uh, academia, and of course the investment. We need to create a fund which is very exclusive, which is Mangalore, uh, which is NRI, which is Gulf, which is Middle East, which is people, the back to Uru. The further extension is also get the investor. We need to create a fund of our own for Mangalore's board. We need to create a Mangalore story. Only then we will be able to be, and we can say we have arrived. And I strongly believe in this land. I strongly believe in the spirit of this land because we have created wonderful things. And like our Prime Minister always says, "Wahi samay hai, sahi samay hai." Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That is very insight, change your vision. With that, we will conclude the panel discussion here and move on to the next session.